I think we're good right here, right? Let me see. How's the levels? The levels are pretty good. Huh.
If somebody were to watch this before.
Yo. The testing, right? The things we do before a video. Pussy. Yo, what's up? Lucifer Constantine, Anubis Constantine. Welcome to Spliff Talk. So, we decided to do something different. Me and my brother, we were talking the other day about video games and movies, about video games that were turned into movies and movies that were turned into video games. And we decided, you know what? How about we talk about our opinions about like maybe 5 of them from like worst to greatest. Right?
Yeah, just five random ones that came to the top of our heads.
Yeah. So we're gonna do it in 2 different categories. This first video is gonna be about movies, 5 movies that were turned into video games from worst to greatest. And then the next video is gonna be 5 video games turned from video games to movies, and then from worst to greatest as well. You wanna light the blunt, do the honors? There we go.
I should have been with it, to be honest.
There's some sensitive topics in this one. You know what I mean? So let's start with the first one.
Number 5 on the list.
Number 5, the worst.
Yeah. Number 5 on this list. I don't know if anybody remembers the game E.T.
E.T.
But that was single-handedly one of the worst games in existence.
It should go home.
I was telling you, there's actually like, you can look it up. There's stories about the rest of the copies of the game being buried in the desert. Yeah, just apparently they discovered like a truckload of just copies of E.T. just buried in the desert. They wanted to forget about that game.
There was a video game, E.T. for Atari, was so bad, the company tried to get rid of all the copies. It's rumored truckloads of that game were buried in an Alamogordo landfill back in 1983.
And finally, after 2 hours of digging, they found what everyone has been waiting for. An E.T. for Atari game cartridge in the box with instructions, fully intact after 30 years underground.
The game was...
Now that game came out for Nintendo, right?
No, Atari.
Oh, Atari.
It
Atari.
destroyed the Atari as well.
Now, explain why it destroyed the Atari.
E.T. was a very anticipated game at the time because everybody knows the movie. The movie blew up, and the Atari was very popular at the time as well. And when they released E.T., it kind of just was kind of like a shockwave of disappointment throughout the entire industry, and people just... It ended up giving, I don't know why, but it ended up giving the Atari a bad name too. Like the console itself. People were just like, no, we don't want it.
I mean, the movie was great.
The movie was great.
I fucking love the part where he's like...
time.
For what? For his time,
For its
right?
time.
Yeah. Like, I remember, I think I saw that movie when I was probably like 10, 11 years old when I first saw it. You know?
I think I was around the same age. They showed it to us in school.
They showed it to you in school?
Yeah, well, it wasn't during school. It was like latchkey. It was like after school program. Just sit us down in the gym. Didn't want us doing anything reckless, so they would just put movies on for us. Let us play basketball.
That's what's up. I remember watching the movie, and then a year later, I went to Disney World for the first time, and I went on the E.T. ride. And I was lucky enough to have E.T. on my bike in the ride.
I don't like going on rides.
Like that? No, like
I went on a few rides before. Back in 2016, I went to the Halloween thing at Canopy.
Oh, like the hay ride?
No, just the event itself. I went. That was
Oh.
the first time I had gone on rides, and it was the last time I would get on rides. We went on this one ride that it was like a gravity ride. So they would put you like in between these bars, and there was no strap, nothing. You just hold onto these bars while this thing spins at a speed high enough where that gravity keeps you pressed onto the wall. And that was the scariest thing I've ever experienced in my life. And I was like, I'm never getting on rides again.
Yeah. I mean, that's a different topic. We're getting off topic. We're getting too smacked over here. All right. Number 4, Wanted. Yo, I remember when this movie came out. Bro, that movie was
video-
so fucking awesome.
Yeah, the movie was insane. Angelina Jolie, you know what I'm saying? The movie was insane, but the game was mediocre.
It is this prick. Some loser gets his head blown off in the Metropole. Shut the fuck up!
It was like, all right, so when I first played it, I thought it was really fucking cool. And it does have some mechanics that a lot of games don't have. But when you go back and really think about the game, it's like there's so many other games that could have overshadowed it at the time, you know? And
True.
then again, like, I don't even think the game fully followed the movie. I think
No,
there
it
was
didn't.
just some parts.
It had like a lot of parts that weren't in the movie.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, I feel like the biggest hype for this game was the fact that you could curve bullets.
Yeah, that was
Right?
one of the most interesting things about the game.
Right? But I feel like they could have done so much more with the game. And that point, I agree with you because they could have definitely made that game like open world if they really wanted to, you know?
They could have if they would have waited
Like
a
where,
few
like
years.
maybe you're not the main character, but maybe you're like a new assassin that has to be trained or some shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? That shit would have been
They could have
fucking
done
awesome.
that. It would have been great.
Did you unlock did you wear like the mat? Remember when you can unlock like the suit with the mask on?
Yeah. I remember that.
Did you like when you get it? Did you were like excited to like put that shit on right away? You were
I
like,
put it on, I
"Yo,
never
look
took
like
it
a
back
badass."
Yeah.
You know?
It was amazing.
All right. Number 3, Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider. Here we go, Angelina Jolie.
I think you know more about Tomb Raider than I do.
Yeah, because I started playing Tomb Raider on Dreamcast. You remember Dreamcast?
I'm not gonna lie, Tomb Raider when I was a little boy, and I think there was one of the games were out for, I think it was PlayStation 1, where it's just like skeletons like in this cave. Yeah, that creeped me the fuck out when I was a little kid.
It was like a 2D Tomb Raider game, wasn't it?
No, it was 3D, but I guess it was like when 3D games like that, like third person like that, were like just getting started. I don't remember exactly what console it was for. I'm pretty sure it was for PlayStation 1, if I'm not mistaken. All I know is that it was Tomb Raider. There was some skeletons that freaked me the fuck out. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
The newer ones are good though.
But now Tomb Raider. Oh, you know, I just realized something.
What?
Tomb Raider doesn't belong in this category.
Oh, that's from the other category?
Yeah, we got them a little mixed up. Because Tomb Raider was a video game before it was into a movie.
So we should cut this whole part.
Nah. You know what? We just picked it because we like Angelina Jolie, you know?
I'm only trying to turn you into a lady. And a lady should be modest.
Yes, a lady should be modest.
Even though she doesn't have much of an ass. Like. Nah, but let's just talk about it because either way, it's still like the one we could think of. Anyway, but Tomb Raider. Now, I did like the Angelina Jolie movies. They were actually pretty cool.
Nah, I did. I liked them a lot.
The second one was like right there, but the first one was I really liked it, and then I even liked the remake with that new chick where she's like surviving in the in the jungle, I think, or the woods. Well, we should definitely watch it, but that one I feel plays more true to the character, because when it comes to the video games, like all the puzzles and like. Because like if you think about it, like the old games, fit more like the Angelina Jolie movie. Yeah. But then when they try to do it with the new games, when they brought it back, where she had to like survive.
I'll tell you one thing: if Uncharted was never a thing, Tomb Raider would have been that game, because Tomb Raider is amazing. The game is amazing. It's just overshadowed by Uncharted,
right?
Which has won Game of the Year.
But Tomb Raider's older than Uncharted.
Exactly, but there's just something about Uncharted that because if you look at both of those games, they're both very, very similar. Mm-hmm. They're both practically the same thing, except one's a male protagonist, one's a female protagonist. They both have that third person look. They both have puzzles. They're both about ancient mystical things and a protagonist that just doesn't want to die. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, Uncharted has just gradually became the first pick. I mean, every time Uncharted has dropped, Uncharted 1, Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3, Game of the Year off rip. Game of the Year. I mean, you can't stop that game.
That's another game that's going to become a movie.
Oh, yeah, and I wanted to put it on this...
but the movie's not out yet.
Yeah.
So we can't talk about it.
I wanted to put it on the video games and the movies.
Right.
But it's not out yet.
I always felt like they should have married Tomb Raider and Nathan Drake. Like, if they were in the same universe, that would be fucking awesome. Like, they're like meant for each other.
That'd be a crazy combo.
Right? But in Uncharted 3, they already gave him to the other chick. Like, he already has a kid.
I want to see a game with the kid.
Yo, that would be fucking badass. For real. For real. All right, let's move on. So,
my favorite.
Next is 007. Now that definitely was a movie that was turned into a video game. We're not fucking up on that one.
That one up.
Thank you all for accepting my invitation.
But I remember playing 007 with my friends. I would go over to his house, play on his PlayStation 2. We used to do it 4 players and play what's it called? 007
Nightfire?
Nightfire. Yeah, Nightfire. Yo, I used to fucking abuse the fucking grappling hook. Like pop pop.
So I first got into 007 obviously with GoldenEye. N64, and I loved it. Like, it was amazing. And then because of GoldenEye, that's what brought me to ask my mom about James Bond, and she told me it was a movie. So there I went, started watching the movies. I think I went and bought for the N64 I bought Die Another Day, and then for PS2 I bought Agent Underfire and Nightfire. And Nightfire was like my all-time favorite PS2 game. My all-time favorite. It was Pierce Brosnan. That's was 007 back in all those games.
I've only played Nightfire and GoldenEye.
Nightfire and GoldenEye.
Those are the only 2 that I've played.
Nightfire doesn't get enough credit, in my opinion.
No, yeah, and seeing how they turned, the movies. And it was mostly with Pearson, right?
Pierce.
All the games were based off of him, right?
Off of Pierce, yeah.
I don't even know. Would they bring something like that back for Daniel Craig?
What, like?
You think they would? Like Like I would have thought that they maybe would have like gotten a new idea of like, yo, let's make a new James Bond.
Because they've
game.
had, like, because Daniel Craig has been in a lot of 007 games. They have a Quantum of Solace game. They have, I think it's called Bloodstone, a game for the DS.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's in a couple, and even did they use him in? No, I don't think they used him in GoldenEye Reloaded.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, there's been a couple. The thing is that James Bond is not really nobody knows James Bond anymore. Like when you look at the gaming industry today, there's a lot of kids playing, and there's kids who are born in these days that they don't know who James Bond is, and every time they do release a James Bond game, not enough people buy it.
You know, and it's crazy because people like us who were born in the 90s, you know, especially us two, James Bond is like one of our like top.
Not only were we born
favorite
in the 90s,
heroes.
we were born into families that don't forget the past.
Right. So that's how we got lucky, because we really listened to a lot of, we're like old souls, because we like a lot of old shit, old music, old
Sam Cooke.
movies, you know.
Sam Cooke.
I know about Sam Cooke.
No, they don't know about Sam.
Oh, they don't know. Maybe.
It's funny because I discovered Sam Cooke playing Mafia 3. But,
Really?
yeah, I discovered a lot of old music. I would listen to the radio in like Mafia 1, 2, and 3. And I would just look up the lyrics for those songs and find them all. Yeah.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you something after the next one. All right, so next on our list is The Matrix, taking the number 1 spot for us, because there was 2 games that came out for The Matrix. It was Enter the Matrix and The Path of Neo.
The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes.
I feel like both of those games did the movie its justice, you know?
Not only that, The Matrix was one of the very first series that was successful as a movie turned into a video game series, because it's almost as like, of course the movie was by far way bigger and more popular, but within the gaming industry you could say that the game was almost as big as the movie in the gaming industry. It's a very well respected game. It's not one of those games where they're like, oh, they made a game about this movie. No, like the game was very, very good.
Right. No, it's true. It's true. I agree. Especially because, you know, I'm a big fan of the movie theories, everything. But when it comes to the video games, like Enter the Matrix, I love how that one was specifically about what was going on with those teams.
Yeah.
When, you know, Neo was trying to save the world and talking to the architect and shit like that, you know, and everybody was like, had a plan and had their own positions to fucking get that shit going, you know? Those helicopter fights were fucking crazy. I was just slow-moing the whole fucking time, just like
abusing that.
Yeah, bro, cause yo, I think I put it on like normal or hard, and I was just like, I kept dying sometimes, like, cause these niggas would get like lucky shots. And then like the only thing is like, I think some of the aiming was kind of bad in that game. Sometimes it was just,
it was a PS2 game.
Yeah, but Path of Neo, that game was fucking awesome. I love the whole concept of that game, like how it shows how Neo goes through his training and like all the little details about his path. You know, like it's crazy. Like, I mean, I'm just a big dork when it comes to the Matrix.
Yeah, I'm not well versed on the Matrix, like I am with 007, but I would agree. I mean, the reason why the Matrix goes above 007 in this category is because although the games for 007 have been, you know, successful, the last very successful game for 007 was GoldenEye. I mean, when you think of 007, the video game, everybody thinks of GoldenEye, whereas in the Matrix, both games that's been put out for that series, both extraordinary games that have had high ratings. There's a lot of 007 games that just aren't mentioned at all, and that probably could possibly be because they've probably released like 7 times more 007 games than Matrix games.
There's a lot of 007 games,
but
a lot.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's our list. Of course, there's other movies that were turned into video games, but we just wanted like just a quick talk about it, you know. So this part ends right here, but definitely check out the next part, 5 video games that were turned into movies, and we're not gonna fuck up on that one.
Yeah,
we made sure that that one was right, you know. So like, subscribe, comment. Peace out. Love you guys.